All right, welcome. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the three main ingredients that you will find in any great marriage. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, Africa, Canada, United States of America, Europe, or anywhere in the world that you are in. If you have these three ingredients in your marriage, you are going to be happy in it, and it's going to be a great wedding, a great marriage. I will also share why we don't usually have them in the marriage, and as a believer, how you can install them. So today and for the rest of this week, we're going to do what we call the war against divorce. My goal is to help you put an end to every kind of negativity and disruption that the enemy wants to bring into your marriage. All right, so let's get to today's topic. What are those three core ingredients that you must have in any great marriage? If you look at any marriage in any space, whether even Christians or non-Christians, it doesn't matter. If you don't have these three things, then you're not going to have a great marriage. The very first one that I want to start with is great communication. Trust and communication. Well, I'll start with communication. If you are going to have a great marriage, you must be good at communicating with one another and without breaking down the friendship, the marriage while you're communicating. In other words, you can speak your mind, and well, when you do that, your marriage doesn't break down. There's no fight. There's no name calling when you speak your mind. So a good marriage is a marriage that has free communication between both parties, where each party feels very comfortable to speak their minds, to share their opinions, to share their fears, and not to be ashamed while doing that. How do you build strong communication? How can you have the kind of communication that you need in your marriage? It has to be built on mutual discussions. What is the second ingredient that has to be in any good marriage? It is unity, right? The first one is communication. Of course, that has to do with trust. Here, I'm going to talk about unity. This has to do with the same goals, right? Communication is number one. Unity is number two. Any good marriage will not have two people living parallel lives. A great marriage is a marriage where the two people align their goals together and pursue one goal. Now, these are two individuals. They have two different desires, two different tastes. They have two different upbringing. And so you're wondering, how are we ever going to have just one goal? Yes, the goals match. It's like a puzzle. Your goal matches your wife's goal in certain ways. And you need to find out how those merge. A lot of people struggle in this area because they know their goals very well. They hear their wife's goals, but many times, because the communication part is not well, the moment they see that the wife is not aligning well with their goals, they don't know how to communicate anymore, and so they cannot really absorb their wife's goals into their own goals. And when you don't know how to take your goal and match it with your wife's goal, you're going to struggle. And as long as you are not united in your goals, in your pursuit, you're going to begin to have conflicts. And those conflicts will grow over time. And that's why some marriages just dissolve. Why? Because the two people start to go two different paths. And eventually somebody is going to figure it out that, you know what, I don't want to live the rest of my life like this. If there can be a great marriage, I don't want to have this parallel life. Eventually they figure that I'm actually well off, I'm better alone than with you. And that's when the divorce eventually happens. Now, if you don't want divorce and you want to fight a war against divorce, then you need to have a marriage that you have a unified goal. Now, the last step, last ingredient that must be in every marriage is what I call friendship, or we can call it intimacy, whichever way you want to call it. That closeness, spirit, soul, and body that you must have. It has to be in your marriage. When you have great communication, you have unity, and you have friendship, you are in a great marriage. What's friendship? What do I mean by friendship? I mean a place where you are emotionally connected. When you feel down, your wife knows that and feels it. When your wife feels down, you feel it too. That emotional connection, you know, you can sense each other, and you want each other to feel good. Yeah, you have not just emotional connection in your mind too. Soulishly, your souls are connected. You have desire for each other to get to grow in your mind, to grow in the way you express and the way you do things. You're connected. You're united in that, and you're close intimately. You're passionately in love with one another. You laugh together. You smile at each other when you see each other. You know how to trigger each other's for good things, not just trigger them for negative. We do that unconsciously, but you know each other's buttons, and you can encourage, you can inspire each other. You know, you can speak each other's words. You know, when someone meets you, for example, many times I hear people say to me, I just spoke to your wife. How come you guys are saying exactly the same thing? Because we are connected in our minds. We are connected in our spirits. Yes, we pray together. We study the word together. We design our lives spiritually together. When it's time to pray in the morning, she's there. When I see her praying, I want to pray too. When she sees me praying or studying the word, she wants to do it too, because we are connected. So when you are connected this way, you will find that even intimacy, so your sex life will become way better, stronger, because you can, number one, you can communicate. Number two, you both know what you want and where you're going. And so you are also able to speak about what you enjoy in bed, what you enjoy when you are interacting differently and in ways that you understand, right? So when you have these three things, just three, you can focus on these three, you're going to have a great marriage. So that's where I'm going to stop for today. So if you have been blessed by this, don't forget, leave a comment. And if you want to meet with me right away, this video has blown your mind, you're blessed, you see that, yes, okay, I've been working on two of it and I've not worked on one. I want to really just meet with you and get the result. Then you can join me, book a 15-minute call with me, and I'll be happy to do it. It's a free call. You just go to adesobanjo.com/chat. I put it on the screen there, adesobanjo.com/chat. And you can meet with me. I'll be very happy to meet with you. All right, so go ahead and start to think about these things, practice some of these things that I talked about. Look into your life. Which area do you need to work on more? Is it the communication part? Is it the unity part? Or is it the friendship part? Whichever one you need to work on the most, just put them in the chat and say, this is the one I want to work on, and I want to work on it right away. Yes, and I'm going to talk about exact steps that you can take to work on these different portions of your marriage starting tomorrow with communications. All right, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and till we'll talk again tomorrow. Continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact. Bye for now.